Hello, everybody. It's Max with Crypto Talk. Now, Bone is surging and surging well, to say the least. There's a few things that's happened recently to cause some of these insane price surges. So, what exactly am I talking about, and how did this all come into fruition as of lately? Well, without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right into it. So, before we get actually into the nitty gritty, we need to actually take a look at this. Now, this is straight from CoinMarketCap. This, of course, is part of my watch list. And as you can see, Bone, listed as Bone Shiba Swap, is sitting at a price of about $2.01, of course, at the time of making this video. We also see on the 1 hour chart, real close to 12%. I mean, really, really doing well, especially on that 1 hour. Of course, on the 24 hour, about 11%, so on and so forth, right? On top of that, the overall crypto market, just in general, you see Bitcoin's, back up over 21,600. Heck, even, Ethereum's doing all right for the most part, 1751, and whatnot, right? And then, we do see that we're sitting at a rank of 692, so on and so forth. Well, when we click actually on the CMC listing, it does show that the volume is way up 157%. The circulating supply is definitely worth noting. It shows that it's at 6,975,299. That total supply is at 229,935,287. The max that can go is, of course, that 230 million. So, what exactly is going on with Bone, right? Well, there's a few things. First of all, as you can see right here, this comes straight from Tron Weekly. They just published this earlier today, and I thought it was really spot on. And if anything, I thought I'd go ahead and bring it to you guys. So it shows right here, it says Shiba Inu's bone minting halted after current supply crossing that 230 million mark. And again, that was, of course, the total supply. So don't, confuse that, of course, with the circulating. Big difference. It mentions the current supply of Shiba Inu's governance token, which is Bone, has crossed over that 230 million, and as a result, minting has officially been halted. Now, this is something that we talked about a while back. They literally gave us the outline of what was going to happen for the future, and they did announce quite a while back, I believe as much as a month and a half ago, that the minting was going to be halted soon, right? And basically, we see that going on as we speak. The update, of course, was provided by Shiba Swap official on their Twitter account. A little bit more. Just a moment. A little more in regards to all that. If you don't know, Shiba Swap is a native decentralized exchange of the Shiba Inu coin project. It mentions, like right here, the remaining, this is a quote, by the way, the remaining approximate 20 million is designed for Shibarian validators. The maximum supply of Bone is 250 million. Always will remain that way for the token, tweet read. And of course, they announced this a while back, like I mentioned before. The Shiba Inu DEX also revealed the timing details of the halt in a separate tweet. Here it is, the actual tweet. A transaction to halt the minting will be created approximately at 7:30 p.m. UTC. Furthermore, a 6-hour window for multi-sig approval and a 24-hour time lock will follow. There's no way to time this precisely, so a small amount of over-minting is expected. And of course, that's a kind of a cool looking, go-kart. I like that. I might have to use that at some point for a thumbnail or something. But yeah, I mean, a little bit more on this. Shiba Inu's bone minting halted after the current supply crossed that 230 million mark. In other positive news, data from Google Trend revealed that the demand for the governance token of the Shiba Inu ecosystem has shot up as searches for, quote, how to buy a bone token soared to record highs. The highly anticipated Shibarium launch, as we know, is one of the main factors driving up the bone searches, to say the least. Per the most recent information provided by Unification X Fund, a blockchain service provider, the Shibarium public beta testnet might soon see the light of day in the third quarter. And that's good. When it comes to these type of things, you want to see testnet. You don't want them just to throw out the mainnet without proper testing. I mean, a lot of other good projects. This is kind of like the standard of how these type of things basically happen. A little bit more in regards to this, and of course, I'm going to get more into the whole thing with Google. I'm going to actually just pull that over here for a second just to line it up. But yeah, a little bit more on this. So it says Shiba Inu's bone on popular demand as major exchanges begin to list bones. So I mean, we consistently see, like this exchange, that exchange, and so on. You may not be as familiar with some of these exchanges compared to some of the big players like Binance, Crypto.com, so on and so forth. KuCoin. But the fact is that you're seeing some of these exchanges continuously pop up, and there's a lot of momentum behind it. Is always a positive catalyst for the likes of Bone. So it goes on to mention Shiba Inu's Bone on popular demand as major exchanges begin to list Bone. For the time being, Shibarium's Layer 2 network offers a substantial utility case for Bone. The asset will function as a native, quote-unquote gas token for Shibarium, requiring a Bone for every user on the network to do so with any transaction. And, we're going to outline, of course, a little bit more in regards to this. And before we do so, here's a little bit more in regards to what we basically mentioned with the likes of Google. So, loss of demand. I keep saying on demand, maybe because of the cable company. Anyway, loss of demand for Bone in regards to Shiba Swap and so on is increasing daily as major exchanges begin to list Bone. Now, like we mentioned before, Google Trend data revealed that the demand for the governance token of the Shiba Inu ecosystem inflates so much that the keyword, quote, how to buy Bone token soared, hitting breakout levels. Kind of a little bit of that graph that you see there. Looks like it was dating back to maybe even May. I'm sorry, April through August. Yeah, April, May, and all the way up to recently, right? Quite a bit of breakout. I mean, one thing I forgot to mention earlier was, the other day this was sitting at $1.60, and it soared well up past the $2 mark. So I mean, it's really tremendous, especially considering that the overall crypto market is slightly down. Yeah, we're over $1 trillion, big difference compared to what was it, $960 billion mark and so on that we last saw. Big thanks for Bone. But it's worthy to, mention some of these things that are going on. Now, the primary reasons behind these increased searches are as follows. The much awaited Shibarium launch. We've been talking about this for a while. On top of that, the first and foremost reason behind increasing Bone searches is the much anticipated Shibarium launch, as per the last update provided by Unification X Fund, a blockchain service provider involved in developing the Shibarium Layer 2 solution. The Shibarium public beta testnet may launch in quarter 3. So, basically that could be, September, maybe, in that range. Some people were hoping, of course, it was going to be August. Obviously, that didn't happen. But, like you see right here, it says, as September is the last month of quarter 3, Shiba Inu community can expect breaking news about the Shibarium launch anytime soon. In reality, it could get delayed again. I mean, and if it does, I'd rather have something that has been fully tested on that testnet than just go ahead and rush it out just because they want to, hit a certain time frame. So, and if anything, it could create even more and more demand for Bone, in which we could see some significant price action, right? On top of that, it mentions Bone has a significant utility case in Shibarium Layer 2 network. It will act as a native, quote-unquote, gas token. I'll show you guys a little, picture graph to show you exactly what that's all about. Just kind of gets more to the point. For Shibarium, meaning that every user on the Shibarium network would need a Bone to make any transaction. We talked about this before. Considering the mentioned utility case of Bone in Shibarium, Shiba Inu community expects that with the much limited supply of 230 billion tokens compared to Shiba Inu, the Bone value could increase manifolds with the launch of the Shibarium network. In regards to the price performance, listen to this. Bone, incredible price performance in the last 14 days. This is one area I definitely wanted to highlight for you guys. Despite unfavorable market conditions, Bone posted an incredible performance in the past 2 weeks. The world's largest independent cryptocurrency data tracking website, CoinGecko, reports that the value of Bone increased over 100% in the past 14 days. I'm actually going to go see an ENT, ear, nose, and throat guy in regards to all this. But anyway, on August 25th, the Bone price stood at $83. I mean, not $83. I wish. 80, a little over 83 cents because of intense demand. We just basically talked about that, creating tremendous demand. The value of Bone increased almost 3 times in just 5 days. Bone hits a recent high of $2.38 on August 30th. Following this, Bone experienced a slight pullback, which is healthy for any crypto asset, by the way. At the press time, Bone is trading sideways. Consolidation is good. Any real healthy crypto does that. You want to basically see that. Anyway, it's sitting at $1.73, up 6% over the last day, with a 24-hour trading volume, like you see right here. Now, on top of that, it's actually way higher than that. Sitting at roughly over $2, like we basically showed on that CMC listing. Now, in regards to the listing on major centralized exchanges, including Hong Kong-based top exchange LBank and Cayman Islands-based crypto exchange Bitmart, added Bone support. One of the leading trading platforms, Crypto.com, also recently provided the Shiba Inu community with a hint that they may list Bone. And again, that's a little bit of some of these factors of buy the rumor, sell the news. I mean, even just a rumor, a Crypto.com dropping a hint, you will see some price action. That's just one of those things. For the same reason, like if Binance hinted that as well, right? So there's a little bit more that I want to show with you guys, and if anything, these are like little snippets, but it's really, really good to see some of this, to say the least. This was recent. Actually, this was like the other day, and showing like some of the indicators that got us to basically where we're at right now. So this, shout out to this guy, Caesar.nmp. As a drowning man will clutch at a straw. All right, and when we zoom in, basically, look at that. Very, very bullish pennant, to say the least. And this was literally the other day. And then we see things like what? We see things like this. And that is tremendous, to say the least. So it's nice to see some of those outlying things in regards to like how we basically got here. To give you guys some of the news stories about the supply and demand, and Shibarium rumors, and all these types of things, right? On top of that, whether you're for Saitama or not, I will give credit where credit's due. Last week, basically, we talked about how Saitama basically did the whole thing of having Luna Classic actually listed as one of those on the likes of Seda Pro. I mean, that was a really good move for them. Whether you're for them or not, you gotta give credit where credit's due. That was a good thing, and as a result, we did see some decent price action. Those 10%. This is not, of course, a Saitama video, but like you see right here, it says the wolves demanded, and we listed Bone, basically. And the SHIB army to make DeFi a better place together. Download, of course, Seda Pro if you want. I remember back when it was called State of Mask, there's lots of bugs. We all know the whole story behind that, whether you're for it or not. I have heard a lot better things about Seda Pro. I myself, I don't know, if it's like bug free or any of that, and I haven't been able to confirm it. But to say the least, to have a lot of people that are, into Saitama, this is great for them as well, but it's great for Bone as well, because it is a positive catalyst even though you may be for or against Saitama, right? So I did see that this was recently listed. Boom, Shiba Swap unleashed on the SATA Swap network. That's a good thing to see as well. I would say it's more better for Saitama than it is for Bone, but it is a positive catalyst for both. Um, Also, on top of this, or on top of that, I should say, I can't give credit because it's unknown whoever wrote this or made it, but it's really cool. It says why Bone. I'll blow it up a little bit more. So it basically says why Bone, Shibarium native token, the gas. Again, I've always mentioned in the past, you got to look at the Shiba Inu ecosystem in this light. You have the likes of Leash, aka the Doge Killer, right? And that's basically like looking at it from a Bitcoin perspective. That's the Shiba Inu ecosystem's Bitcoin. Bone is looked at as being the Ethereum, if you will, the pay for gas. Um, and you're gonna see some of these other things come out in the future, like the Shi, or some people refer to the bad word, right? Which is supposed to be like their stable coin, but that's not even out yet. But anyways, put a little focus on this. So Shibarium native network, I'm sorry, Shibarium native token, for the gas, and Shiba Swap governance token. Um, it's Shibarium's blockchain layer 2 solution is Bone. Shiba Swap V2 runs on Shibarium utilizing Bone as gas. Literally, you can see why we use that Ethereum reference, right, as an analogy. ShibaNet, believe it or not, runs on Shibarium utilizing Bone as gas. Shiba Inu, the metaverse, runs on Shibarium utilizing Bone as gas. I mean, this is you see the other ones. I'm not gonna literally mention all of them, but some people talk about like, well, where is the utility with Shiba Inu? Well, with Bone, there, I should say countless, but there are a few key things that basically show significance of the utility that in that itself. Bone is definitely, the strong utility token, to say the least, when it comes to the Shiba Inu ecosystem. So I'm gonna actually take you to this next part. And of course, there's this. For instance, this guy states that Bone is bullish, ready to take off. Next all-time highs coming will be $5 to $10. I mean, that is really, really bold. I know some people are just, saying a lot of things and whatnot, and it's just like, well, can it realistically get to that? Um, you know, I, a lot of people didn't feel as though they would ever get, back to some of these levels as that. If we get into like one of the bullish, or I should say, one of the very bullish bear or bull markets, I should say, in the future, we're talking like well past $3 or $4 trillion market cap. We see what we saw towards the end of 2021. It could very well be possible. Um, a lot of people feel as though, well, you got to have an insane market cap for that to happen. You got to keep in mind. I mean, a lot of times it's what's trending, right? The supply, the demand, and what's trending. What I call a crypto trifecta. Um, and of course, we cover some of this of what you saw here. But again, Google Trend data revealed. I must state it again, that the demand for the governance token of the Shiba Inu ecosystem, how to buy Bone token. You get that, pop it in on their data, or data analytics, I should say. I mean, there's a lot of people looking that up. I mean, if more people were looking that up specifically than the likes of, Bitcoin, Ethereum, those type of things, there you go. There's the demand, and as a result, we'd see the price action, to say the least. So, guys, you know what? That is the latest on what's going on with Bone. We'll continue, of course, to follow what's going on with Bone. A lot of us kind of like, maybe missed out, especially when it was down to like 30 cents. I'm one of them, but I still recognize that Bone is going to be huge, to say the least. And, when Shibarium drops, or, the Shiba Inu metaverse comes, unofficial title Shibbers, you know, currently, if you see the supply and demand in a bear market, you will see it big time when it comes to the bull market. So, if anything, thanks for watching today's video on Bone. Like, comment, subscribe if you haven't done so already. And by all means, come out to our live show, whether it's the Max and Larry show or just Crypto Talk Now, live at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. We cover all sorts of things, the likes of Bone, Shiba Inu, especially Luna Classic, and also the ISO 222 compliant token/coin. So, thanks again. Like, comment, subscribe if you haven't done so already. All have a blessed day, and we'll see you on the next one.